Hey guys, it's Steph from the Hot Moving Podcast. So we're gonna touch on the Jalen Green aspect a little more. I talked about it just a little bit after the Houston Rockets were eliminated in 7 games to the Golden State Warriors, and this Jalen Green moving, this narrative has really been started by Stephen A. Smith. Look, man, Stephen A. Smith is the king of narratives, and I think that when he attaches his name to a player, it feels like this player is gonna be synonymous, with Stephen A. Smith. And look, I can't speak for Houston Rockets fan. I'm not going to bash Jalen Green, though he did not have a good performance in this series for his first playoff run. You know, we have to keep that in mind here. Okay, this is a new experience for him. But, I mean, it wasn't good. Okay, if you look at his shooting splits and his points each game, outside of game 2, he was an absolute no-show in this series when people looked at him as, can he take that next step? Right, but Stephen A. Smith on Monday, was already telling Jalen Green basically he should be packing his bags. All right, just to quote Jalen Green, I think it's safe to say he needs to get ready to pack his bags. Stephen A. Smith said, if you're the Houston Rockets, you have to be looking to move him. Now, and I credit Brian Windhorst for pushing back, saying, look, we're not going to trade him unless we get younger players back or around similar age. Okay, Stephen A. Smith is really pushing this whole Kevin Durant narrative to Houston. Why? Right. I don't really see the fit for Kevin Durant in Houston. The only benefit as a Suns fan is getting those drafts back. But, Kevin Durant in Houston, it may work, but it also may not work, right? I mean, you have to hope that Kevin Durant can stay healthy. All right. And Kevin Durant for the past couple of years has been able to stay upright and be healthy. And can he fit with Şengün and Amin Thompson, Dylan Brooks, and Van Vliet? That does sound, if those guys aren't going to be part of a trade, that does sound really good. That does sound really enticing. And maybe they could make some damage. But will it win him a championship? I don't know, right? To trade a young player like a Jalen Green of his caliber, though, he's rising and has improved his scoring clips in the regular season, I don't want to label him a playoff choker just yet. It's only one playoff run, but I mean, usually, playoffs are a spot for these young guys to put themselves at the face of the league, right? This was a great opportunity for Jalen Green to battle against the Warriors and make himself a face of the league or up against a face of the league alongside Anthony Edwards, and he has failed to do so. Great player, regular season, playoffs. We got a 7-game sample size, with 1 game out of the sample size being one of his apex games at 38 points, and you know what he can do. However, why did he regress, right? I'm not going to say too much on the defense. It's just, I don't know, not aggressive enough. Not taking a lot of shots that wasn't needed when they need him to attack and go downhill. I mean, you saw when he was attacking downhill, he's at his absolute best, right? Stephen A. Smith is on that band, is leading the parade, and is that fair to Jalen Green, right? I don't know. I do find it kind of just cringy when the narrative Stephen A. pushes of he should start getting ready to trade him. He was already saying that prior to this playoffs, and also now. Jalen Green added fuel to Stephen A. Smith to go ahead and get embarrassed on national TV about packing his bags out of Houston, right? We don't really know how the Houston Rockets feel about him. We will find out in this offseason if the Houston Rockets are going to be a team to make a major move. Is Jalen Green a guy that they really should let go, right? Again, as much as he didn't have his best performance in the playoffs, is it really worth to trade him at this point, right? I mean, it does sound enticing. He is going to be a viable trade asset. But is it worth these guys don't a guy like a Jalen Green, with some fine tuning and better development, I think he can be a star player, right? And just because that he didn't have his best performance in this playoffs in his first outing, I don't think it's fair to him to be, or fair for us to be calling for a trade. And I know I talked about it the other day, and it's just, but that Stephen A. was really pushing that narrative, and you start thinking like, yeah, I mean, you know what, you could, but again, this is only year 4 for him. He's 23 years old, extremely young and extremely talented. If you just look at, his regular season stats has been very, very good, right? And I know we can't base a player all based off his regular season stats. I take that back. Actually, his best season was just 2 years ago. So he dropped off by a point. But nonetheless, though, he's a solid player. And could his struggle stem from the Houston Rockets not really knowing who is there to be the main guy? Right? Does Jalen Green feel confident enough to be the main guy, to be aggressive? Is he getting the proper development to be that featured player? We don't know yet, right? So I mean, look, Stephen A. Smith is always going to have these narratives with players. We understand that. This is probably the reason why players do not like Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith does not care. Okay, he always says he always says he doesn't get paid to talk about players. But I do feel that a lot of this trade talk of Jalen Green is really coming from Stephen A. Smith, right? And then Stephen A. Smith on national TV, and therefore you're going to have a lot of sports writers talk about what Stephen A. Smith is saying as opposed to hearing what the Rockets feel really about Jalen Green, right? And is Jalen Green truly there to stay and is off limits? Anyways, guys, you leave me your thoughts about the Jalen Green trade situation that Stephen A. Smith is pushing, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.